Ayo friendos, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we have the brand new Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palette here in studio. We're going to be giving it a review, we're going to be doing a look and swatches. Now if you are a fan of the brand, well then you'll be happy to know that this is one of the top 5 brands that I cover here on my channel. Please go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. So guys, prepare yourselves for what is possibly the most exciting day in our young lives. So grab your weapons, grab your shields, and let's prepare for war. Okay, friendos, just stay tuned. So let's start out today with the swatches. First row. Ooh, that one looks a little chalky. This one's pretty. Second row. Third row. And now guys, I'm gonna head on over to Sephora to test my reading comprehension. So there are of course 12 shades in the $68 palette. And then about the product. This is a multi-finish eyeshadow palette with 12 neutral translucent shades and suede matte, natural metallic, and glossy shimmer finishes. This is Mario's dream palette with 12 new signature shades that create effortless ethereal eye looks. It features 3 unique finishes, suede mattes, natural metallics, and a first ever glossy shimmers. And let me just tell you guys, those glossy shimmers are the most shimmery shades, and I'm not speaking hyperbole here. They are the most glittery shades I've ever seen. The suede mattes offer enhanced grip for rich color. Natural metallics feature micronized pigments for a seamless application, and glossy shimmers, a first of its kind formula, are infused with pearls coated with emollient binders to impart a reflective, wet-like shine on the eyelids. Wow. Okay, I hope you guys are as enthusiastic as I am to get into this eye look, so let's get started. So I started today's look out with this shade right here in the upper left corner of the palette. Unfortunately, it was kind of the same shade as my eyelid, so I wasn't really seeing any pigmentation showing up for that shade. I'm guessing it went on, it's just, it's kind of a me problem. I couldn't really see it. And I use a fluffy crown brush to really go in there with circular motions in and above my crease. Then I went in with this nudie mauve shade that we see right here. Again, just going a little bit below where I had put down the first peachy shade. On my units 205, you can pick these up at Beautylish. They're so cheap but so good. And at this point I'm doing a little bit of circular motion, but mainly I'm doing back and forth windshield wiper motions. And this is where I start to get a real feel for the mattes of the palette. They are very much buildable, and I don't say that in the sense of they didn't bring pigmentation, because they do. They do bring pigmentation, but they don't bring the most overt pigmentation from the get-go. I found that as I went along that this palette is very beginner friendly. My sister called it mistake proof, and I think she's right on that because everything was blending so well together. The next shade I used was this taupey gray right here. I used my Sonia G classic crease brush, and again, just windshield wiper motions. I didn't go as far into the eye as I did with the other shades. I focused most of it towards the middle and outer portion of my eye while applying, just to build some depth and to really amplify that gradient effect and connect the lower part of my eye to the upper part of my eye to lift it. My eyes are a little bit downturned. I went in with this shade right here, this brown chocolatey shade. And this one was really nice. It blended out great. I mean, they all did. But just saying, sometimes a darker shade on lighter shades doesn't always blend out perfectly, and I felt like this one did. So again, in my application, I was trying to get that really good lift, So I'm applying this diagonally and then a little bit down here. And that really helps my eyes to look more snatched, more awake. And then to get everything looking really buffed and blended, I went in lastly with this little corner shade right here. It was a true tan, and I used my NJC E06 Precision Blend Brush. So yeah, no problem with the mattes. Again, great blend with a buildable formula. So I only used 2 of the glitter shades in the palette. The first one that really caught my eye was this one right here. It is very pearlescent and pretty. It doesn't come off as dark on the eye as what it does in the pan. And the same was true for the second one that I used right here. Now for both of these shades, I used the NJC E10 Precision Shader Brush, and I started out each shade without spraying the brush. I know not everyone likes to spray their brush. I spray mine with Urban Decay All Nighter or some form of setting spray so that I don't get any fallout. But the good news is, even without me spraying my brush, I really wasn't getting a lot of fallout on my face, which was surprising considering how glittery these were. Now, if you're familiar with the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Eye Gloss Powder, then what you're getting with these glittery shades is something very similar. I will say, I think that the glitter in these shades is a little bit more finely milled, and because of that, I think you get more of a glossy look with these than you do with JSC. Now, I can't say as to whether I like one over the other. I do think that this one is beautiful in the palette, but I also like that JSC's kind of doubles as an eyeshadow as well, and they're not as transparent. These are very transparent. So far, so good. I'm really liking the look that I have down so far, but I definitely need to add those finishing touches. Okay guys, and now I'm going to pop off camera and put on my liner and lashes, and then we've got things to talk about. So friendos, let's get this look polished up. I purchased one of the lip flip kits from Makeup by Mario during the Sephora sale. This is the Mauve Nude set. And can I tell you, I really like the size of these. I hardly ever go through a full bullet lipstick, so having something that's smaller like this really fits my needs. So with the Ultra Suede Sculpting Lip Pencil, this is the shade Smoky Pink. You guys have heard me talk a lot about Makeup by Mario's lip products. I love his liners. I love all of his lip products. Just look at how beautifully this goes on and how it blends out. It just looks so natural, and it really can give you the illusion of a bigger lip. And then the Ultra Suede lipstick in the shade Erin. And despite my lips being chapped, this does a great job of blurring. And I hope this translates the same on camera, but my lips look so plushy here in person. And then to get a little bit more of that chiseled look to my face, I'm going to go in with some Makeup by Mario bronzer. This is the shade Medium. And then one of my favorite blush formulas of all time is going to be the Mario Soft Pop Blush. Now these, just like the shadows, they're very buildable. I'm also a big fan of these because they do not show texture. And if you are someone who likes a matte, this is a very natural matte blush. Okay, friendos, it is now time for my final thoughts on the Ethereal Eyes palette. Overall, I am so pleased with the palette. I am surprised. I am genuinely surprised at the formulations inside this palette. I just hadn't seen that before in palette form, especially the sparkly shades. This might actually be something that I end up using on my sister at her wedding. Now, something I do want to mention, when I was getting on my eyeliner, when I was putting on my lashes, you know, I'm working with my eyelids at that point, and I do think that I shook loose a little bit of glitter because I'm seeing it show up just a little bit down here. It's nothing crazy. So what I did was I went back in with the Urban Decay All Nighter spray and I sprayed the rest one more time. Now that's something that I will have to update you guys in a later video about because Literally, I can't just sit here for 8 hours and hope for the best. I will be back in touch with you guys about this palette though, because I am so thrilled with it. Another thing worth noting, I think this will get compared to 2 palettes that came out this year, the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership 10. Some of the shades in here look similar in this palette, but Friendos, they come out so differently. This gunmetal shade right here, you're gonna see something similar, or what looks similar, in the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette that just came out, in the Rose Metal palette. Even though it looks very similar in the pan, it could not be more different on the eyes. This is very transparent. I think this palette will be fun to play around with other palettes because it's not the most interesting color story in the world, but I do think with this being as transparent as what it is, you could transform a matte shade of any color with this on top of it. So guys, 2022 is not bringing us the most exciting color stories, but I do feel like it's bringing us some very interesting formulations, with Makeup by Mario being in one of the top 5 that I've tried this year. And now I want to hear from you guys. Do you plan on picking this palette up? What do you think of this look right here? Is an excellent and surprising formulation enough to redeem itself for a mildly boring color story? What have been your favorite brands? What do you think of this lip kit? Did you pick one up? Great price, you guys. Even if you don't get this at the sale, I think this was $20, which is excellent because Makeup by Mario stuff is expensive. Also, this palette was made in the US, which always makes me happy. So yeah, a lot to love so far. And guys, I'm not gonna hold you up any longer. I wish you all a splendid rest of your day. Please don't hesitate to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I really do appreciate all your love and support. I genuinely adore talking to you guys in the comment section down below. I like to know that you guys are having fun watching my videos and chatting it up with me afterwards. And if you have not subscribed already, then Friendos, what are you waiting for? I hope that you will, because if not, we'll both have to live in the shadows of never knowing what could have been. Alright guys, have a great one. Bye.